Oh, this is such a treat. We are privileged to be with one of the founding members of the National Forum for Black Public Administrators, Mr. Henry Gardner. Thank you so much for speaking with me.
It is a pleasure.
Without you, this conference would not be taking place.
That is far too generous. No,
without you, it would not happen.
Oh, well, it happened with a lot of other people. Just briefly, a lot of people don't know the early history. NFBPA was birthed in Fort Lauderdale. There was no National Forum for Black Public Administrators. Several of us were called and said, we are thinking about a symposium in Fort Lauderdale to talk about the state of Black American cities and counties. And would you be interested in attending? And we called around and we expected probably 50, 60 people. 325 showed up.
Wow.
It was an absolutely electrifying experience. 3 days, and about 2 months later, several of us said, should we leave this here? Or should we think about an ongoing organization of some kind? And the agreement was we should think about an organization ongoing of some kind. We met in Atlanta, 12 of us, and we met for 2 days. The first day, we debated, should it be the National Forum of Black Public Administrators or the National Forum for Black Public Administrators? And we couldn't get off of that preposition, of and for. After about a full day of debate and going back and forth, and ultimately exhaustion, we said,
over these two words,
we think this should be for. And then the organization was formed. There were 12 of us. And it was not just the 12 who are responsible for us being here today.
Well, I'm sorry, before we transition from that, why 4? Is it because 4 indicates you're serving someone?
That's a very good question. And that was the discussion all about. And it was for, yes, us. It wasn't just of us, it was for us, and it was for the constituents that we serve. Thank you for that question. That's a very good question. But that's the history of how the name came about. Okay. And so as late as just last year, I looked at who we listed as the founders, and I said, and I'm going to mention their names for the record. I said, well, Tony Adams' name is not on this plaque, and Vicki Rivers' name is not on the plaque. I remembered, but incorrectly, that 2 women were also founders. They were both at the original forum, and they have been with this organization ever since. So I want to call their names out. There are 2 outstanding women who, as far as I'm concerned, names should be on that plaque.
Thank you so much for honoring them. I'm sure they appreciate it, but it is nice to hear you vocalizing their names.
Sure.
One last question for you. When you take a look at conference and the amount of attendees who are here, who are taking away from the various activations, the speakers who we have seen here in the ballroom, the workshops, could you ever fathom it would grow to this size?
No. Because although we had that very energizing experience in Fort Lauderdale in 1983, did any of us think that 42 years later, the organization would still be going and going strong and going in this way? And I think that for all of us, we are mightily pleased and proud, and not because, again, of our efforts. This was a collective vision, a collective effort, but for a whole bunch of people, we would not be celebrating what we're celebrating here today. And one of the things that has always impressed me about what we've been able to do is, while we have a good time, we'll always made that part of what we do. We do serious work.
Yes.
We do serious work at our conference, and people really learn. They have things that they can take back to their communities of value. And that's something that I'm extremely proud of, very much so.
I am privileged to speak with you today. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be able to speak about the organization that I care the most about. Thank you.